again, guys. Welcome back to Nick Haynes' World. I haven't done one of these in quite a while. That's right, people. It's time for episode 6 of The Deep and Depressive Mind. Now, it's been a while, but I'll leave links in the description below for all the episodes of The Deep and Depressive Mind, and even a link for the folder so you can have the whole series there ready to go. As you can see, I've been shopping a bit. You know, it helps with my depression, releasing those endorphins and all that stuff. I want to say thank you though to my sister who got me this Duff beer mug late last year. It wasn't even for Christmas, it was just she was on a trip somewhere, saw the mug and thought I'd like it. So thanks, sis. And over here is one of my purchases over the past few months. It's a pop vinyl. I have a Pip vinyl collection. There you go, Sasha Banks. One of the WWE pop vinyls. I thought it was very cool, so I grabbed it cheap. Oh, and lastly, I've added to the massive movie collection with Wonder Woman, the 4K edition. Heard it was pretty good, so we'll give it a go, and maybe one day I'll do some movie reviews for you guys. Now, as you saw at the start of this video, all that carnage, all that destruction, I saw parts of this firsthand up in Toowoomba, Queensland back in 2011. I lived through a natural disaster and it was eye-opening, it was shocking, and during this episode I'm going to give you candid comments, some insight from my mind with the depression at the time. Now, these diagrams are a very rough layout of the incline that Toowoomba is on. As you can see on the left there, that steep incline going up was a long and winding road on the side of a small cliff face, and as you got to the top there, that was the opening into Toowoomba City. Where I was situated was just opposite the opening into the city, so I was kind of on a higher ground. Fortunately for us, we didn't get a lot of the flood damage that a lot more of the town got. As you can see from this second picture, well, you can see that my artwork sucks, but what is it they say? People who can't paint, they write. I think I made the right choice when I look at these. Anyways, as you can see at the top as you enter Toowoomba, on that day back in 2011, there was a huge heavy band of rain that hit the area hard. It was the heaviest rainfall in an hour time limit. I think it was for about 60 years. And this final picture was the aftermath of the rain on that day. As it moved across Toowoomba there, parts of the town got horribly inundated in water, and a huge torrent. It was like a wall of water went down that steep incline, and it went all the way to the state's capital, which was about 90 minutes away, just wiping out everything in its sight. There was quite a bit of damage that happened on that day. Here are some of the pictures of that aftermath. This picture here was where I would regularly go shopping, and it was only about 10 minutes from actually where I was working. We were getting reports out of the store from customers, certain streets getting closed off due to flood warnings. It was quite scary hearing over about a dozen streets closed. I was wondering how I was going to get home on that day. This picture here made all the news. It scared a few of my family members down here in South Australia actually. They saw this car in the torrent of water, similar colour to my car, and they thought it was mine. The car park in this shopping centre around the other side, first floor was kind of just under street level. Cars basically got knocked around, just floating in water as the water reached the roof of that first level of the car park. We couldn't believe these pictures. I mean, we were down here probably 2-3 days earlier. Just before I left work on this day, actually, I went out the back of the store. We opened up the loading dock, and where the trucks delivered our goods, it was basically like a huge swimming pool. We could have dove in there. These pictures are still quite hard to look at, about 6 years later. A lot of damage, a lot of sorrow and silent feeling in the air going around town as everyone was in shock, as the town basically came to a halt. This main road, this was the artery into and out of Toowoomba. This is where goods came in and out of the town. We went for a few days without trucks delivering goods, without nearby farms taking stock, taking their livelihood out of Toowoomba to be processed and for them to make money. It definitely was a horrible, horrible time. Guys, as I'm watching this stuff, I feel really guilty because back in the day, when all this stuff was happening, it kind of made me forget about my inner pain, my depression, because the carnage that was going on in here was being displayed basically in front of me. I feel really guilty and really bad about my depression eased off during this. I feel really bad about that. These pictures are something that I still see. These cars stacked up the way they are, we saw them from a distance and I was in shock about it, and the upset, the grief that was in the air, I felt a lot calmer inside. You people could judge me, but I already judged myself as just being horrible as I'm watching back this. And okay guys, I'm going to try and read an excerpt from The Deep and Depressive Mind for you. It was a dark, drizzly morning as I had my coffee and got my mind ready for work. I drove on my usual route. The waters would have subsided the morning after a flood, right? A little bit of rain. I was safe, wasn't I? Oh, fuck! Driving up to the intersection, slowly going through the shallow water. I suddenly felt a slight pulling against where I was driving. Damn it! I really needed to reverse before the current of water swept me away. I navigated back about 20 metres, and it felt like forever as my heart was pounding. I didn't need that coffee on this morning. I went the long way to work again, witnessing the floodwaters on different sections of the route. Yeah, I'll never forget that morning as I was driving through the water, and as it got to a certain level, it was pulling against my car, and as I was driving along, I was putting down the accelerator and wasn't moving as fast as what I thought I should be. And at one point I thought, should I just keep going through? But I reckon on that day, if I kept going, my car would have floated off down the torrent of water. In my mind, I wasn't ready to go that day. Wasn't ready to leave this place. Okay guys, thanks for joining me for this episode of The Deep and Depressive Mind. It's been a bit of an emotional roller coaster, as was the book when I set out to write it a couple of years ago now. Look in the descriptions for other episodes of The Deep and Depressive Mind. Look for the link where you can go to pick up a copy of the book. Also at the top of my YouTube page, there will be a little button up on the right hand side, I think there, with the Amazon logo. That'll also be a link to the book. So there's plenty of places where you guys can go to find it. Thank you guys again for joining me. I'll have some more episodes coming up soon. I've got plenty more planned for Nick Haynes' world. So guys, stay tuned, and remember, please hit those like and subscribe buttons. I appreciate each and every one of them. Thank you guys. Catch you soon. Hey there, deep and depressive mind fans. What a bloody buffhead I am. Look at all that hair. Probably needs a tidy up. I should have probably did that before I went to work this week, eh? But just for you guys, I need to look spiffy for this next episode of The Deep and Depressive Mind, which you will see before this airs.